Hello and welcome to Potternyms, a Harry Potter podcast about Wizarding World words. Today, we're going to discuss Avada Kedavra.
I don't know much about this. I know it's a spell, but the way that you said it, I think it's going to be a good one.
So you don't know what the spell does?
Well, I have images of this being a spell that stuns or kills or something like that.
Mm-hmm. This is the killing curse.
Okay, yeah.
It causes instant, painless death with no visible injury or violence. Basically, people are described as there's nothing wrong with them except they're dead.
Oh, well, that's a pretty big thing being wrong with you.
I mean, it's a pretty big thing being wrong with you, yeah. But yeah, it's a powerful spell. It can't be blocked by a shield charm. Although you can, dodge it or be blocked with like a physical barrier if you jump behind a rock or something,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember in many of the battles that that spell being used, so it can only be physically blocked, not those scenes where we see the two spells connecting and battling back and forth. That's not this. That wouldn't work with this spell.
Well, yes and no. Not with in any instance, but in certain instances. I'll talk about that a little later.
Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here.
It's okay. But, you're talking about the battles, and this spell is a nice cinematic spell because it's categorized by a brilliant green light and kind of a rushing sound. It's also one of the 3 unforgivable curses. Do you know what it means, unforgivable curse?
Well, I mean, it sounds like that's a curse that shouldn't be used. And if you use it, it's kind of, if you get caught, straight to prison for life kind of thing.
You nailed it in one. Yeah.
Okay.
These are considered the worst curses. And if you're caught using them, life in Azkaban without parole. And Avada Kedavra is often thought of as the worst of the 3 because it's death, But I actually think it might be the least of the 3 because, while it kills you, it's instant and it's painless. There's no suffering,
Yeah, so what are the other 2?
The other 2 are the Cruciatus Curse and the Imperious Curse. Well, they'll each get their own episode, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But basically, Cruciatus is torture, pain, And Imperious Curse is, making the person do whatever you want them to.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of a mental torture almost.
Yeah.
So, that's why I kind of feel like Killing Curse Avada Kedavra is the least of them because it's just like that and no suffering. But
at least there's that.
Yeah, exactly. If you got to be dead, at least you don't want to suffer. Yeah. But it is one of Voldemort's signature curses, or basically his big signature curse. He uses it a lot. And it requires a lot of skill, a lot of concentration, and a genuine, strong desire to kill.
Okay.
So, you could go through the movement of it, say it, but if you don't really feel like you want that person to die, it probably won't work.
Okay, so it's kind of got a bit built-in safety.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And the hand movement for it is similar to a lightning bolt, which is appropriate because the one person to have survived Avada Kedavra is Harry Potter.
Hey!
Yes, who has a lightning bolt scar on his forehead from that curse.
Yeah.
So you remember why Harry survived the Avada Kedavra curse?
That the love of his mother kind of protected him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Basically, she sacrificed her life for him, and the power of her love was enough that the curse didn't work, and it rebounded on Voldemort and destroyed his physical body.
Yeah,
it would have killed him if he hadn't, done those dark magic spell horcruxes.
So in this case, Harry didn't survive because of a counter spell, because those don't really work against this spell. But in a sense, the sacrifice his mother made created some sort of a reflective barrier.
Yeah. You can think of it that way.
Back and saved him in that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
cool.
That's a cool way to think about it. And then Voldemort actually casts it on Harry again in book 4. And this is one of the instances where what you were talking about before with the 2 spells connecting happened. It's called Priori Incantatum, which we'll do another episode about that.
Okay.
But basically, it worked in this instance because Voldemort's wand and Harry's wand both cast a spell at the same time, and both wands had the same had a magical element from the same animal.
Mm-hmm.
Not just the same type of animal, but this one individual animal.
Yes.
They both have tail feathers from a phoenix, from Dumbledore's phoenix, in fact, fox.
Oh, okay. Yes. I'm imagining the scene where he goes to the wand shop.
Yeah.
And the clerk in the wand shop
Ollivander.
is like, interesting.
Exactly.
Yes.
This particular wand, I wonder.
Yeah.
When its brother gave you that scar. Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the one instance where that would work.
Okay.
And then the final time that Voldemort actually casts Avada Kedavra on Harry is in the final book. And Harry actually kind of lets him do it because it will kill the Horcrux that lives within him.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to sacrifice himself to allow Voldemort to actually be mortal, you know.
And the rule of 3 applied. The third time was the charm for it to actually defeat Voldemort.
Exactly. That's cool. I hadn't thought about it that way.
Cool. Well, let's dive into the meaning behind the name.
Yes, let's.
Yeah.
So Avada Kedavra, I'm going to go according to J.K. Rowling. It comes from the Aramaic word Avada Kedavra, or words Avada Kedavra, which mean let the thing be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a quote from her. She said, originally it was used to cure illness, and the thing was the illness. But I decided to make the thing the person standing in front of me. I take a lot of liberties with things like that. I twist them around and make them mine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her quote, that she, let the thing be destroyed. Instead of it being the illness, it's the life of the person,
Right.
Let's destroy this person.
Which maybe in the caster's view is an illness. Like, gotta get rid of you.
Right?
Yeah.
You scourge upon this earth.
Yeah.
Be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there have been people who've come out and been like, actually, that's not what that means in Aramaic. Actually, this isn't really an Aramaic word at all. It's Hebrew, and it means what was said has come to pass.
Oh.
Which makes sense when you think that this is the origin of the term abracadabra.
Oh.
Yeah. So
yes.
Avada Kedavra, abracadabra sounds very similar. And abracadabra was used as a healing spell in the Middle Ages. Like, poof, you're cured.
Uh-huh.
And then it kind of developed into a general magic word. I've heard, I don't remember where I read it, but years ago I read something that J.K. Rowling said in an interview that she knew and she liked that the worst curse that she created sounds like the most innocuous, kids party magic word used by many people today.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Just the changing of a few letters.
Yeah.
Takes a kind of silly, goofy, fun word, abracadabra, and turns it into this evil, worst spell possible.
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah, and there's one other little thing I wanted to mention that's not exactly the origin of Avada Kedavra, but it's kind of a fun thing that people have attributed to it, is that cadavra sounds like cadaver.
Yes.
Right? Corpse, dead body.
Yeah.
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 So whether that's not really the origin of it, but it's appropriate for what it does.
Yes. Poof, you're dead.
Exactly. Instead of poof, you're cured, poof, you're dead.
Wow. Yeah, that's even if the like literal translation doesn't mean cadaver,
Right.
The similarity in how it sounds definitely adds
very
to
close.
You just get a bad feeling when you hear that.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cadavra.
Ah.
It's like every time I say it, I have to say it in that voice.
Right.
Avada Kedavra.
Yeah, the actor who plays Voldemort in the movies just does such a good job. His voice when he says this spell too. Yeah, and his facial expressions, his whole body is in it. You can tell when he's casting it, he intends to kill someone, and that's why his spell works so well, I bet.
Exactly. He means it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Really cool. I think personally, I really like hearing about the meaning behind the spells the most. Because they're interesting, sometimes sound like they're made up words, but they have like a history to them where they come from another language or
like 90% of them come from Latin,
right.
So they might get old after a while and be like, this is actually literally the Latin for this, which is what it does.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to pick some interesting ones.
Well, you're doing a good job, Al.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, really cool. Well, if you're like me and you like learning about spells and all the other words we talk about on this podcast, be sure to listen to our past episodes, subscribe, like, share with your friends that are also Harry Potter fans. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Potternyms.
Yeah, and if you want a little more bonus content, some extras and fun stuff, you can head to patreon.com/Potternyms. If you support us there are various tiers. You can get a bunch of different cool features, cool bonus stuff.
Well, until next time, I'm Erik.
And I'm Al.
And this has been Potternyms.